And welcome back to part 2 of our best and worst of 2019. You know what it is. If you haven't seen part 1, click the link right up here to check that out. We already talked about some movies, but a couple things to remind you of. Of course, this is just our opinion. These are the movies we really liked. These are the movies we really didn't like. There's no particular order, although our favorite movie of the year is our definitive favorite movie of the year. So let's just jump right back into it, talking about a movie I don't know if you saw, Ready or Not.
I did not see it.
What a fantastically fun, zany film. It's about a girl who marries into a family, and they're sort of like Hasbro or like Milton Bradley, like they've made their millions from board games. When you marry into the family, you have to play a game, and it can be something harmless like chess or, you know, checkers, nothing too serious. Or it could be this one card, and she pulls this one card, and it's hide and seek. So the family has to try and kill her before dawn, or else something terrible will happen. Similar in a lot of ways to Your Next, but I would say it's different enough that it separates itself completely. Super violent, super over the top. Samara Weaving is awesome in the movie. She has some of the most brutal screams I've ever heard in any movies, and it has a really satisfying ending as well. Nice. It's just a nice little. It was a nice little surprise. I went into it. I was excited to see it, but I wasn't like, oh my god, like this movie's gonna be amazing. So when it was actually pretty good, I was like, oh. Nice. I had fun.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch.
Continuing with the worst, we have Pet Sematary remake. Severely disappointing. This is just another nothing movie, in my opinion.
They changed things for the stupidest reasons imaginable just to have a little quick gotcha moment.
Yeah, it's just soulless.
Yeah, and the original Pet Sematary is not even a great movie, so I was also like, we were riding the high of It Chapter 1 coming into this Pet Sematary remake.
Right, yeah, that's the
so
problem.
I was like, okay, Pet Sematary 1, like, I like it, I like the original, but you can admit there's room for improvement in that movie, and I thought this was going to be it. I was like, oh man, you got Jason Clarke, John Lithgow, like, it's going to be such a good time. And then it was just such a fucking disaster. Oh my god, it's so dumb.
And just unmemorable.
Yeah.
Another one on the best 2019 is Honey Boy, which you did not see, but I did.
Yeah.
I love Shia LaBeouf.
Yep.
I just, ever since this weird thing that he's been going through, I think it started with like this Twitter thing when he was just putting a bunch of weird artistic stuff on his Twitter. I like when celebrities do this, like Kanye. They just do like random weird things and everybody just goes crazy and it gets people talking.
Yeah.
Not to say Shia LaBeouf doesn't have actual issues, which he has hopefully taken care of. I think he has. But love Shia LaBeouf. He's a meme, but also can be a good actor.
True.
You know, even Stevens, Transformers, but then he's also in good stuff like Fury and, you know, Peanut Butter Falcon. And, yeah, Holes is a meme. This is a film that Shia LaBeouf wrote while in rehab, about his life growing up as a child actor with an abusive, drunken father. He plays his father in this movie, and then there's two actors. It jumps back and forth between young and old of Shia's character, which, I mean, let me explain for a second. The story is not outright like, this is Shia LaBeouf.
Right.
It's someone that's supposed to be Shia LaBeouf, but the name is different, and like it's a different person, but it's about him growing up.
And Shia LaBeouf is playing his father.
Right. So, yeah, so that's why like Lucas Hedges looks nothing like Shia LaBeouf, but he plays the older version of the character.
Yeah.
And then there's a younger version as well. And there's like some moments where like they're recreating scenes from Even Stevens, which I thought was really cool, and like one of these Disney Channel original movies I cannot remember, but there's stuff like that in there. And then, yeah, Shia plays the abusive, drunken father who still loves his son, but he just has issues. And it's just a great drama story. But there's also pretty decent cinematography. It's just, you know, I like Lucas Hedges. There's a good freak out Lucas Hedges moment. A good, nice rage moment. I like the balance the movie has between the acting stuff and the child trying to deal with his abusive father stuff, and then the older character stuff. It's a good blend of those three different kind of storylines. And then one of my favorite things about this movie is when Shia LaBeouf is playing the dad, and it's the younger version of the son, who looks up at him and goes, "I'm gonna make a movie about you one day." I'm just like, my brain is exploding with like how much sense that makes when it's like Shia LaBeouf playing his dad, who is having a conversation with Shia LaBeouf, saying, "I'm gonna make a movie about you one day," and it's like, oh, he really is making a movie about you. When he said that, I was just like, that's the greatest piece of dialogue that I've ever heard in my life.
Nice. Very meta.
Yeah, so, yeah, I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd.
Nice. Buy it on Blu-ray?
Possibly. Mainly because I think Brendan needs to see this.
Yeah.
Because he's always going on about Shia.
Well, he's always going on about holes, really.
Right, that is true.
Switching gears here. The last 2 worst movies we have on our list are both movies that I've only seen, I believe. So I'll just talk about both of them right now. The first one being Rambo Last Blood. Fucking stupid, pointless movie. Rambo 4 ended his storyline perfectly on a great note, and then they just had to dig it up. They just had to do one more. And it's literally Home Alone with Rambo. Like, he sets a bunch of little booby traps, and all the bad boys come in and try and kill him, but he's got booby traps.
I mean, if you ask me, I think 1 had a perfect ending.
True. We didn't need any more, but 4 also does a really great job of ending the movie. And the character's just pointless. He doesn't have anything to do. His storyline is completely nothing. It's a nothing movie. The action is super boring. The CGI is laughably bad. Sylvester Stallone's acting is at an all-time low. And then the next one is The Dirt, which is the...
I don't even think I know what this is.
This is the Motley Crue biopic. Yeah. It was a straight-to-Netflix release, but holy shit was it bad. Stars Machine Gun Kelly, the one guy from Punisher Season 1, the mentally disturbed soldier.
Ramsey Bolton.
And Ramsey Bolton. I feel bad for Ramsey Bolton. I feel so bad for him. Terrible costume design in the movie. Everyone looks cheesy as hell. The outfits don't look accurate in the slightest.
So are they like trying to cash in on like Rocket Man and like the...
Yeah, pretty much. Like Bohemian Rhapsody, that kind of thing. Yeah. And Machine Gun Kelly's a terrible actor. The guy that plays Vince Neil, who's the guy from Season 1 of Punisher, terrible actor. Super emotional moments in the movie where like Vince Neil's daughter dies and he can't even get a tear out. Like the actor can't physically get a tear out of his eye, and it's just embarrassing because you're like, dude, your daughter just passed away and you can't even get it. Like, just not good acting, not a good script. It's totally like unnecessarily raunchy, and I think it's because this movie was directed by Jeff Tremaine, who did like the Jackass stuff. So there's like a bunch of like, whoa! Like there's like a girl who like squirts and just like a bunch of like fucked up stupid shit like that, and you're just like, oh, okay, so this is a movie made for like 13-year-old boys. And
because the Motley Crue were hard, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I like Motley Crue as a band. I like their music just fine, and it is cheesy and corny, but this just wasn't it. It wasn't it.
Another film on the best of 2019 was Us, directed by Jordan Peele.
Yep.
I liked Get Out significantly more.
Agreed.
I didn't buy this one on Blu-ray.
Neither did I.
I think it might honestly be a one-time watch, but it was still pretty good.
I saw it twice because the first we had a horrible.
We had a very terrible experience. We had boo-boo keys.
Horrible theater experience.
We had boo-boo keys galore, but it dwells into on-the-nose territory a little bit, but not as bad as Joker.
Yeah.
Nor near as bad as Joker.
Similar themes, though. Society and the separation of the rich and poor.
Classism, which was also a theme of Joker, before anyone goes in the comment, you forgot about classism. But it was a good movie.
Yeah. Good movie. Yeah. Really solid performances. Lupita Nyong'o, amazing. Yeah. Amazing in this movie.
That was a great performance, especially the mirrored character. I forgot what they called.
I think her name is Red.
Yeah.
But
when she's holding this, I'm just
Dude, when that part first happened in the theater, I was like, like chills. Yeah. And Tim Heidecker's in the movie as well, from Tim and Eric, and he's amazing. He's super funny. Yeah. Even his like mirrored version is like super jokey and like comedic, and like when he sticks his hand out and then slicks his hair back.
Yeah.
So many good moments in the movie, and a killer soundtrack as well. Of course, it's just a bunch of licensed music for the most part, but enjoyable.
I got 5 on it.
Yep. Now, we don't have movies that we wanted to put on the worst list, but these are also movies we wanted to discuss, though, because they're worthy of mentioning. So we're going to call this category disappointing. And the first one is It Chapter 2.
Oh.
Yeah,
you did a twist on it.
We're saving the big one.
Yeah, It Chapter 2 is unfortunately just...
I put this in disappointing because I know that you liked the movie a little bit more than me. I would say that I would have thrown this in the worst for sure.
All right.
I did not like this movie at all.
I think disappointing is a more fitting term because it's coming off of the high of Chapter 1.
True.
I love Chapter 1.
I also love It Chapter 1.
And the quality just randomly goes down in this movie. I'm like, same director, like just
same cast. Well, the cast is there. The kids are there. Same cast, same crew, same director.
Yeah. So,
and it all goes wrong.
It does. It's literally just the same thing happens over and over and over and over in this film. Like there's no chemistry between the main cast, and that is because they almost immediately all have to split up to go get their tokens.
Yeah.
Which that storyline goes nowhere because it doesn't end up working.
So you just wasted all this time because the movie is also insanely long.
Yeah,
2 hours and 50 minutes. Ah!
Yes, and basically each character splits up, and one after the other. Character walks down creepy hallway, creepy Pennywise moment happens. Character walks down creepy hallway, creepy Pennywise moment happens.
You forgot flashback happens, creepy Pennywise moment happens.
The film also treats you as if you're an idiot.
Literally replays clips from the first movie.
Clips from the first film. Like, remember the first one? This is what I'm referencing.
Yeah.
There's the horrible, embarrassing digital de-aging.
And digital voice editing.
Yeah.
On, like, Eddie, where
it's like pitch shifted.
He sounds like a fucking robot.
Yeah, it's especially on Ben and Richie.
Easily the worst.
And then the voice was Eddie.
Like, just let it go. Just let them look normal. Like, yes,
or they could have just let the scene out.
We as humans understand the concept of aging and that movies aren't made at the same time. So I feel like you could have just stuck them in there and been like, yeah, it was the past, but unfortunately, people age. They look older. Especially when you're literally going through puberty. Like, you cast a bunch of kids who are literally about to change almost their entire physical appearance. Just let it go. The de-aging looked like shit, and it's gonna look even worse as time goes on.
Yeah, there's a lot of just lame moments and just overall disappointing, and the characters have no chemistry. None of it is believable.
Pennywise does nothing in the movie. He's barely in the movie.
Still needed more Pennywise.
People complained that he was barely in the first movie, and then Andy Muschietti was like, oh yeah? Just wait till you get a load of It Chapter 2.
But he technically is in it more just because of the runtime.
It's like, oh, the movie's 30 minutes
It's
longer.
such a lame ending, too. He just gets roasted to death.
Yeah, clown! Oh.
I was like, oh, whoa. That's all you had to do the whole time?
Just make fun of him. That's it.
Yeah.
Switching back to the best, I think the last movies on the list are stuff I've seen, but you have not, so I'll just briefly go through it. Beach Bum, the new Harmony Korine film, loved it. It was a total blast. Matthew McConaughey is insane. Zac Efron is insane. I wish Zac Efron was in the movie way more, because his character is freaking hilarious. Jimmy Buffett, Snoop Dogg, Isla Fisher. It's just like all these people in this movie, everyone's having like an insanely good time. You could tell they were having a lot of fun filming the movie as well. It's not nearly as like serious as like Spring Breakers. Like, I feel like Spring Breakers has a lot to say about party culture and stuff like that. But Beach Bum is just like a fun. It's like Gummo, if Gummo was about a boat captain that just smoked a lot of weed. He's just like, it's just a series of scenes. There's no real overarching story. It's just like him going from one place to another, having a mostly good time, but sometimes a little bit of a bad time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just entertaining as hell. And then next up is the Bong Joon-ho film, South Korean director, Parasite, which is a movie that is in Korean, but it is easily the most compelling foreign film I've seen in a very long time. Almost instantly in the movie, I wasn't even thinking about reading the subtitles. It was just so unbelievably interesting. It's captivating. The story is fantastic. There's definitely a lot of great themes and that play in with the title of the movie. You're sort of wondering, just who is the parasite in the situation that's going on in the film. It's basically another classism issue. But you start to wonder, you're like, who's taking advantage of who? Is the rich taking advantage of the poor, or are the poor taking advantage of the rich in this specific scenario?
Yeah, I can't wait to get the hopeful Blu-ray.
The Blu-ray is coming out, and it is a day one purchase, and I would say it's a day one purchase blind buy, because it is that fucking compelling.
I mean, I would agree. I really like his other film.
Yeah, so...
Snowpiercer.
Yeah, Snowpiercer's fantastic, and this movie's just incredible. The performances are amazing. The music is awesome. I can't say enough good things about him. This is one of the few films this year I gave 5 stars. I have 0 complaints about the movie. I can't think of one single thing I would change or one single thing I didn't like. J-Rick, let's jump back to a disappointment.
Dun, 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 dun. Star Wars, Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
In JJ, we should have.
In JJ, we bust.
JJ let us down.
Although I still think it's not his fault.
No, this movie, okay, let's just get this out of the way. Last Jedi, not a good movie. Rise of Skywalker, not a good movie. Obviously, nothing really happens in The Last Jedi. Not a whole lot happens.
But they killed Snoke, so we gotta bring back the Emperor.
Yeah, they killed Snoke, they ruined Luke Skywalker, whatever. But this movie overcompensates by trying to do 2 movies worth of storyline into one movie, and it's just completely overwhelming. The inclusion of the Emperor makes 0 sense. It's 100% shoehorned into the film.
They still don't explain how Palpatine comes back. They basically just recite the line from Revenge of the Sith, that the dark side is a pathway to many abilities that can seem unnatural, but
pretty much
still kind of vague.
Every twist and turn in this movie is completely predictable and was like a Reddit theory.
Yeah, they call it a Sith Wayfinder.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying a holocron.
Yeah.
Which it might be a little different. I bet in the visual guide.
Which, I mean...
it'll be a little different.
There's like 50 MacGuffins in the movie. The Wayfinder, the dagger. So much stuff is just so unbelievably convenient.
It's the opening planet is Mustafar, but they don't go out of their way to show that it's Mustafar.
Right. Like, you wouldn't think Star Wars fans would get hyped on that or anything. Knights of the Ren get shafted yet again. I mean, I wasn't surprised, but...
Right.
Spoilers for Rise of Skywalker, if you haven't seen it, from this point out. But Rey being a Palpatine, so stupid.
Predictable.
Completely predictable, not that exciting. When did Palpatine have kids? When?
Yeah, it was so jarring, because, you would think the son or daughter of Palpatine would be a pretty important character, but it's literally just some guy.
They chose to be no one. Like, oh my god, that's so stupid.
But that means they're Force sensitive. If Rey is... but the fake-out Chewie death, just for the sake of, we gotcha, he's not dead.
Yeah. Too many cheap
Hux.
fan servicey moments as well.
Hux.
Yeah, Hux just being the traitor and dying. Whatever. Who cares?
A throwaway character. And I really hate that they say Exegol when they could have just easily called it Malachor. They literally say Ancient Sith World.
Yep.
They literally could not just say Malachor.
Nope. It's
they
Exegol.
Couldn't call it a holocron.
Nope. And this movie also spends a lot of time introducing new characters, like Janna, who's just Finn, but a girl.
Yeah, which takes away from Finn's sacrifice, because it's revealed in this film that he's Force sensitive.
Well, it wasn't revealed in the film. It was revealed by
it's
JJ.
it's kind of implied in the film. But kind of takes away from Finn being a traitor because he had the Force, so that kind of gave him a conscience. But a billion other stormtroopers laid down their arms.
Yeah, and then also in the third film, you're just gonna waste they waste so much time introducing her and Zori Bliss as like new characters, and it's just like they had to give Poe and Finn both love interests. So they're like, so Disney's like, they're not gay, guys. They're not gay.
But they have that one shot at the very end. They're like, don't worry, we met our quota.
Yeah, but we're gonna edit that out for international release. So, but
I hate the thought of all of the Imperials, most of the remaining Imperials after the Galactic Civil War. Palpatine's like, yeah, guys, we're going to chill on this super dark, cold, gritty planet.
I hope you don't mind sitting under a rock for 36 years.
Yeah, the Star Destroyers are under the rocks. Like, guys, we're just going to chill out for over 30 years. Like, 36 years, maybe.
I'm also going to redesign your armor to look like the First Order.
They redesigned the Stormtroopers, but they just look like First Orders. They're like modeled after the First Order.
Why wouldn't they be classic stormtroopers? Why wouldn't...
What'd they do with them? What'd they do with the old Stormtrooper armor? Where'd they grow food on Exegol?
Also, every Star Destroyer has a 100% completely Death Star gun that will destroy a planet each.
Which takes away from Rebels, Rogue One, the first Star Wars, because the original Death Star was huge, and it took many, many years, decades to build and perfect and create, and they tried to keep it in secrecy, and they're nope, we got this now in 5 seconds.
And of course, it's just being lazily revealed that Snoke or Emperor Palpatine was behind Snoke, and all the voices in Kylo Ren's head, and you're just like, oh my god, I don't even care.
And the Jedi are not supposed to have attachment, and they're not supposed to love, but Rey and Kylo Ren kiss, even though that's kind of what led Anakin to the dark side, was having a love interest and attachment to Padme.
They had to please Reddit, Justin. Reddit wanted them to kiss.
And the super anticlimactic, she just has to deflect electricity.
Right, he literally EMPs every single rebel ship in the air with force lightning, but then 2 seconds later it's deflected back at him for 5 seconds and he melts. He just melts.
And this isn't part of Rise of Skywalker, but it was revealed that Ilum is Starkiller Base.
Right, which just makes the storyline even more muddy, because that would imply that the First Order was already a thing almost as soon as the Empire was rising.
And it's Ilum, so Ilum got destroyed, so where does Rey get her Kyber Crystal?
Unless it was always in the saber.
I don't think it was always in her staff. It's
But,
literally yellow or orange or golden or whatever.
yeah, it's the movie's just,
I do like that they used a different color for her lightsaber at the end.
the movie though is just a mess. Short and simple, it's just messy. There's little nuggets of good stuff, but for the most part it's just all way too convenient. It's super unsatisfying.
There's plenty of jarring plot conveniences, like the necklace thing.
Also, Rey instantly using the Sith dagger, and she's just happens to be like, oh, I'm standing right exactly in the right position I need to be. Think about how huge the wreckage of the Death Star would be. How would you find that?
Because how would you know to stand in that particular spot? You could have been at any point along the...
And also, it's in raging water. It's in raging water. So, don't you think parts and stuff would shift over time, possibly over 36 years since it was destroyed and crash landed on the planet? Alright, but anyways, I can't even really be mad. I always will have the original trilogy and the prequels.
We got a lot of good Star Wars stuff this year anyway.
True.
We have Fallen Order and The Mandalorian, which are both amazing, and we still have comics.
Yep, so it's not...
We're fine.
It's not a big
We're
loss.
not pissed.
Yeah.
I was pissed the first day, but I'm since fine.
I was just kind of oh, well, guess I got The Mandalorian. Because The Mandalorian then instantly cured my Star Wars depression.
Especially the season finale.
Yeah. And then finally, we're all the way at the end of part 2 of this video. We're nearing the end here. to talk about our favorite movie of the year, which we did a super in-depth review, a criminally underviewed video on our channel. And our favorite film of 2019 is The Lighthouse. It's so good. It's so good. No bad in this movie. No bad at all. Great soundtrack. Great performances.
Great mythos.
Lots of stuff to dig deep. Lots of themes underneath the surface. Lots of
higher meaning.
But it creates such a good discussion. And we talked about this movie for literally like a month. And it's just fantastic. Of course, it's from Robert Eggers, who directed The Witch, another masterpiece film. Robert Eggers is straight up 2 for 2 masterpieces.
He really is.
2 5-star films in a row.
2 for 2 5-star masterpieces. One of the best directors working today.
100%.
I love that this movie has also been a consistent meme within our friend group. Whether it's singing the song.
The Yeller Girls song.
Hoorah, Yellow Girls. Or it's just quoting. It's super quotable film. Speculating about the ending and what it's really about, the Greek mythology, the god, the mermaid, the lust. So many good themes. Super good movie. Can't wait to get it on Blu-ray.
Yeah. Watch it with some subtitles.
Yeah. So we can read, "Hark, Triton!"
Yeah. That great, just amazing performance.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe. I mean, Robert Pattinson did amazing as well, but Willem Dafoe was just like on a fucking different plane of existence during this movie.
Yeah. They filmed on a real location.
Yep. The interesting 1:1 aspect ratio of the film creates a very unique perspective. A lot of shots are very vertical.
Symmetrical, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just really interesting. It's really well crafted piece of cinema.
Great sound design too.
Yeah. Yeah, the moments when the film really goes insane are super rewarding.
The insanity moments. The kerosene and honey. God.
Yeah, it's not particularly scary, which this movie was kind of marketed as a horror movie.
Was it?
Kinda. It kinda was.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's definitely more of a psychological thriller.
But it's also really funny.
And disturbing at times.
Yeah. But it's just a perfect blend. It's a really nice blend of... I mean, there's fart humor in the movie. And it's actually, not obnoxious.
Right.
So your movie's doing something right when you can just casually balance psychological horror and fart humor comedy. And I'm still completely engrossed in the movie and just
I think it's just the setting too. And it has mystery elements as well.
True. Very compelling film. And The Lighthouse gets our highest recommendation. It's our favorite movie of the year. 100%. You can't see it in theaters anymore, but the Blu-ray comes out soon. It's out on digital already, so you can rent it and watch it. Chances are you might not like it, but hey, maybe you'll end up loving it. And
if you like slow burn, indie, not action, not everything has to be action,
check it out. But yeah, The Lighthouse is our favorite movie of 2019. So, those were all of our best and worst movies, and including our most disappointing. So, of course, I pass the question off to you. What are some of your favorite movies you saw this year? What are some of your least favorite movies you saw this year? Did you love or hate Rise of Skywalker? Let's talk about it in the comments down below.
How do you feel about The Last Jedi?
Yeah, that'll set people off. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like on it. Subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about movies, action figures, and Blu-rays. Ring that bell for notifications so you know when we are uploading. I'm Nate, and I've been joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And we will see you guys next time on Out of the Basement.